You know, as hard as I try, I can't bring myself to talk about Battle of the Belts because I've watched Battle of the Belts and I'm just so burnt out on Battle of the Belts just being a sort of weird, irrelevant thing that just exists for sort of no reason that I don't want to talk about Battle of the Belts. Instead, I want to talk about some independent wrestling, and I was at a very, very special show last night and I want to talk about that, okay? Hello and welcome to FCTR, I am Ewan McQuaid, and today we'll talk about something a little bit different. We're talking about the independent wrestling scene, in particular a show I went to last night, Wrestle Carnival's 1 year anniversary show, the Pro Wrestling Noah crossover event. This was very exciting to me because I've only ever been to one proper wrestling show, and that was this year. That was the Progress Technique show in Manchester. So I got the opportunity to go to this one in Nottingham because it's not too far. And it happened to be a Pro Wrestling Noah crossover show with Hayata in the main event. So I feel like I'm winning. But overall, I had so much fun at this event. Great matches from top to bottom. Great stories, great atmosphere, great presentation. I really, really loved this show. So this is going to be my review. I'm going to run down the card, let you know my thoughts on every match, every angle, everything that happened on the show, and particularly that main event, because, oh boy, that is spicy. And yeah, that's the way a review works. Shall we just get straight into it? Starting off with this opening match for Wrestle Carnival's 1 year anniversary. It is a big money contract match in which the winner gets a shot at the Wrestle Carnival Championship. It was G Money taking on Spike Trivet, taking on Big Guns Joe in a triple threat match. Now, you guys know how much I love Spike Trivet. Easily one of my favourite wrestlers working right now. His heel work in this match was great. Constant, just dickery. I like that word, dickery. We're just snapping people's nose, snapping the fingers, all the good stuff. And then you had the two baby faces in Big Guns Joe and G Money. I think Big Guns Joe played a crucial part in this match. It was really good to see, you know, the two sort of veterans, if you will, G Money and Spike Trivet, really sort of just disregard Big Guns Joe, chuck him out of the ring all the time, and those two would go at it. I thought it was a really simple story that's just so effective. And yeah, there was a lot of cool offense in this match. Really hard-hitting strikes from Big Guns Joe. Like I said, awesome heel work from Trivet. And G Money just being his charismatic self. And it was really, really fun triple threat. A really fun way to open the show. And G Money picked up the win. He has the big contract, big money contract. So he can challenge at any time in the next year either Charles Crowley or man like Darice, as you will find out later on in the show. But I thought this was a really fun and solid way to open the show. Now, as you know, independent wrestling can be a really good way to build up new talent, and that's what we got here. We got Judas Gray taking on Rob Stowe, and I'm going to be completely honest with all of you. I had no idea who either of these guys are, but they put on a really, really fun match, and they told a really fun story. So the story of this match was that Judas Gray was the more experienced competitor. He could do the kip up, he could do the front flip on the ropes, and Rob Stowe couldn't because he's the bigger man, he's got the power. So it was power versus agility, experience versus inexperience, and they told a really fun match. Judas Gray, I love. He's got a really cool presentation, really good aura about him, and Rob Stowe, again, really solid in the ring. There was nothing here that was like offensive, botchy, anything like that. This was just a really solid match with Judas Gray picking up the win. Fantastic. Really loved this match, and it was great to see two newcomers come onto the scene. It reminded me very much of the Leon Slater match from Progress, and I can't remember which stop motion skeleton battle maybe, but that match, again, two newcomers coming in and just tearing the house down. So yeah, it was a big fan of this. Next match we got was Lykos Gym taking on Pure Beef, Will Cruz and Brady Phillips. This was probably my second favourite match of the night. I thought this tag match was sensational. Lykos Gym are honestly the best, probably the best tag team, British tag team working today, in my opinion. I think their heel work is fantastic. Their interaction with the crowd, they were playing off the crowd so well during this match. And Will Cruz and Brady Phillips are really fun baby faces. You know, you've got the big tank of Will Cruz, and then Brady Phillips, who I've not seen before, incredibly agile, incredibly ripped, and can hit some insane moves. And he hit some insane moves during this match. I think it was a huge spine buster on one of the guys from Lykos Gym, as well as Lykos Gym with an insane baking tray shot to the head of Will Cruz. It was just really fun, exciting tag team action, and Pure Beef got the win. Pure Beef got the win. Babyfaces won. It was really fun. I really enjoyed this match, and I hope we see more of this team in the future. Then we had the interval where I got myself a can of Pepsi. Can you believe that? And then we had Joe Hendry taking on Joseph Connors in a number one contenders match for the Wrestle Carnival Championship. This match was, we got a really fun entrance from Joe Hendry. His music's incredible. The reference to Joseph Connors, incredible. Joseph Connors told a story, and then Joe Hendry played off that. Their interaction at the beginning was so fun. Honestly, fantastic stuff right there. The match itself, for me, this is the one that didn't connect with me as much. I thought it was a really good match, but in terms of how I viewed the other matches, the opening three and the last three, this may be the weakest one of the show, but it was still great. It was still really good. They played off each other incredibly well. And Joseph Connors, I'd never feel like he got his due in NXT UK. I really don't think he did. And here, seeing him fully wrestle, like, this was quite technical at the beginning, and then it devolved into sort of strong strikes and moves like that. It was incredibly fun by the end of it, but just didn't quite click for me. The ending was lovely because it did a tribute after Joe Hendry won to someone who worked for WCPW called Jenny, who I'm not too familiar with, but worked for WCPW, Defiant, all that stuff, who's sadly passed away. So there's a really nice tribute at the end of the match. Solid match, good angle at the end, good promo from Hendry. Thought it was, incredibly solid stuff, this. Then we got a fatal four-way match for the Wrestle Carnival Women's Championship. It was Charlie Morgan taking on Jetta, taking on Lizzy Evo, taking on Emerson Jane. This match was so fun. This match was insanely great. I think what made this match work so well is the different character dynamics within it, because you've of course got the really good babyfaces like Charlie Morgan, Emerson Jane and Jetta, and then you've got Lizzy Evo, who was a true honest to God revelation in this match. Her heel work is second to none. The way she interacts with the refs, the way she interacts with the other wrestlers, everything about it was sensational to me. And I think Jetta's got a really good presentation about her as well, coming out to Nobody Does It Better. Again, I wasn't really expecting that because I don't honestly know much about the women in this match. That was so fun, and there were some insanely cool moments in this match. It was a really good four-way where there wasn't just one would roll out and then it became a singles match. They also worked really well together and played off that dynamic of Lizzy Evo. There was it was like a gunshot. There was a chop from Jetta to Lizzy Evo, which was insane. And the way it went was Lizzy Evo eliminated Emerson Jane and Charlie Morgan, and then Jetta got the win over Lizzy Evo, which I think is a really good way to build up a villain, especially with what came after, because of course Lizzy Evo put Charlie Morgan's hand in a chair, threatened to break it while cutting this insanely good promo, only if Jetta would give her a championship match, and Jetta accepted. So really solid angle after this. It was a really solid way to build up the division, and just seeing some of these women work together was really fun, because the British wrestling scene right now has some of the best women's wrestlers in the world right now. You've got these four women, you've got Alexis Falcon, you've got all the women, you've got Kanji, you've got all the people from Progress, and it's a ripe scene right now. Really excited to see what the women's division is like. going forward. Something I do want to talk about in terms of Wrestle Carnival's presentation is, of course, they've got the two screens. And I think the video packages for these shows are really good. They're really high quality stuff, better than anything I could do in terms of editing a video package, better than some like of the video packages maybe that AEW have done, because I don't think AEW do that good of video packages in my opinion. But I think they were really solid, really great video packages that gave you sort of the landscape of Wrestle Carnival if you are a newcomer like I was. So I thought they really, really excelled in that. So props to the video editing department. Well done. Then we got the Wrestle Carnival Championship match. We got Charles Crowley, the champion, taking on man like Darice. These two characters are almost two sides of the same coin, because they both got sort of eccentric personalities, but one is so different from the other. You've got man like Darice, who raps his entrance, and you've got the spectacular twat Charles Crowley, who dances his entrance. And yeah, I just thought the dynamic for that worked really well. Of course, Crowley gets the jump on Darice straight away, and they start brawling in the crowd. Takes a sick bump through the chairs, does Darice on the outside, and then it gets in the ring. Crowley's talking trash, absolutely berating Darice, goes for a sort of easy win finish, and Darice hits a super kick for an awesome near fall. It really sort of set the match off to a hot start, and it only sort of got better from there, because you got things like a Canadian destroyer. And you got loads of sort of really stiff strikes. Some of the strikes in this match were insanely sick, and some of the bumps, there was a huge power bomb from Darice that was a really great near fall as well. And I think this, in terms of sort of drama, the near falls in this match really captured the drama for me. And of course, the ending because it did. Shenanigans got involved. The ref takes a bump, gets hit with a Darice super kick, and Darice gets a low blow from Crowley, which again made for another great near fall and great piece of drama in the match. And then the belt. Crowley hits Darice with the belt. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. It was a really good heel win for Crowley. Very excited to see what happens next, because you got Joe Hendry coming out, who's of course the number one contender, and then you had G Money come out, who has the briefcase. G Money had a stare down with Hendry as well, and he had a stare down with Darice after Crowley made his escape. Really fun stuff. That's a good main event scene. G Money, Charles Crowley, Joe Hendry, and man like Darice. So yeah, really strong stuff here from the co-main event. And then the main event, Chris Ridgeway versus Hayata for the GHC Junior Heavyweight Championship. This match was incredible. I honestly, just the storytelling, the moves, the character work, everything in this match, I absolutely loved. Probably the best match out of the two shows that I've seen, the best match I've seen live. And it was so strong. So it started off with very technical, fast-paced technical wrestling from Ridgeway and Hayata, where they were just countering each other. They know each other so well because they are both a part of Stinger, the group from Pro Wrestling Noah. And Chris Ridgeway got the advantage. He starts working over the leg after a dragon screw on Hayata's leg. So Hayata's hitting his knee, trying to get everything back in place. But Ridgeway dominated quite a lot of this match in sort of the middle section. Didn't make Hayata look bad because it was just so methodical. And then you'd get like flurries of comebacks from Hayata. A sick enziguri, a sick spinning heel kick. Great slaps as well. Really hard hitting stuff, and some insane Pele kicks from Ridgeway. They sounded, again, like gunshots just going off in the arena. And yeah, it escalated even further. You got the typical sort of Japanese style of wrestling where you get a lot of no-sells, which, oh my god, a no-sell of a German suplex from Hayata, of course. No-selling a German suplex is my favourite thing in wrestling, so I loved seeing that. And then you just got finishes. You got a brainbuster from Ridgeway to Hayata, which was, again, sick. You got insane kicks and super kicks from pretty much both guys, where they're just beating the piss out of each other. It was honestly mental. And the finish came after Hayata had tried to do a sort of Hurricane Rana DDT. No. Yeah, a DDT with a Hurricane Rana. I can't really think of what it's called off the top of my head. He tried that earlier in the match, but had got caught in an ankle lock by Ridgeway. But then he finally managed to hit it, drives Ridgeway's head into the ground. 1, 2, 3. Hayata retains the championship. Fantastic match. Absolutely loved it. And one of the things I really loved about it is they treated it like a war. Neither man got up and celebrated for what felt like 5 minutes after the match. They were just so gassed and beaten. A fantastic match. Fantastic way to cap off what was a really, really fun show. I would give this show, honestly, 4 out of 5, 4.5 out of 5, either of the two. I had so much fun watching this. And yeah, anyone new to the channel, if you like independent wrestling, hit subscribe, because I want to cover more independent wrestling, because it's just so fun. It's so good. And I want to know your thoughts on independent wrestling. What's the best independent wrestling show you've ever been to? Let me know down in the comments below, and I'll try and reply to every single one of them. Thank you all ever so much for your support. Hit subscribe, and have a nice day.